Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Porshawilliams and simonguobadia. As you know, their divorce is the gift that keeps on giving. There is constantly back and forth between both of them. This is honestly probably one of the biggest, craziest divorces so far. Because when we finally feel like there's a little bit of peace and no one is talking about it, then there goes a further update. So today we're going to be talking about Porshawilliams' latest claim that Simon is worth $300 million. That is a lot of money. So first of all, shout out to the Jasmine brand because that is our source for this news. And before we get into all of the details, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post. Don't forget to like, share, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now let's get into it. It's been alleged that in the divorce document, Porsha and her attorneys claimed Simon had plenty of money to drag out the divorce. And I'm just going to read an excerpt. It says, given Simon has a net worth of over $300 million, Simon clearly has the resources to continue to unnecessarily expand the instant divorce action and is currently using those resources to propound intrusive and harassing discovery requests that clearly violate the intent and spirit of the parties' prenuptial agreement, as well as this court's amended domestic relations standing order, the document read. As you guys remember, they signed a prenup, and this I have covered on the show. So if you've missed any of the detail, please make sure you go back to watch some of my previous videos on Simon and Porsha. Now, there is a prenuptial agreement, and the whole point of a prenup is so that if there is a divorce, you know exactly how things are being divided. But now it feels like Simon's pushing for the prenuptial agreement to not be valid in this case. Now, here's what I think is interesting. Last I remember, wasn't Porsha saying that Simon was acting like he got it like that but ain't? I'm confused. Does he have it? Is he broke? Also, let's not forget the allegations at some point that the private jets he was flying with, he was owing people on those as well, allegedly. So my point is, like, is he broke or is he wealthy? Like, what is it? It's confusing. I honestly don't understand what it is that she's looking for at this point. Now, in all fairness to her, it could be that at some point she thought he ain't got it like that. And then once things start to manifest and be exposed, she finally realizes that he has it like that. The other thing could be potentially on the prenup, he is alluding to being worth somewhere around the $300 million. So it could be that as well, because sometimes that's how it works, where when you're doing a prenuptial agreement, there is financial disclosure. So you say basically how much you have and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's what she's relying on, assuming that he does genuinely have the 300 million, but maybe in reality that's not the reality. Who knows at this point? At this point, I'm just like, I'm tired of covering stories about them. I'm sort of like, at this point, like, you guys just go to mediation, decide what you guys want to decide. Hopefully you can negotiate and get a good balance, and that should be that. I personally think the whole back and forth is unnecessary. Now, let's see what people in the comment section are saying. So Scrappy is saying, nah, I thought she said he was broke and a whole bunch of dirt things. This is the same thing I'm thinking. Is he broke or is he wealthy? Which is it? I'm confused at this point. Another person said, I hope she doesn't get a penny. She wants the lifestyle, but not what comes with it. I would have stood by my man. Forget his past. That's none of my business. Well, let's be honest. If he allegedly lied about something like that, I would have an issue with that. I'm not going to be trying to ignore it like this person is basically trying to say. She's just like, she's blind to the BS. And yeah, Another person says, is that in USD or Naira? Honey, allegedly it's USD, baby. Another person says she was just calling that man broke. Another person says, I thought she recently posted he was broke, now he's rich again. The inconsistency, memory relapse. I'm simonguobadia, please advise. And this is the thing, it's weird. It keeps going back and forth, to be honest. Now, I do remember Tisha Tells did a story ages ago, allegedly. I think this is from my memory. Basically saying Simon don't got it like that. So who's lying? Who's telling the truth? It's just weird at this point. Another person said, I don't understand what she thinks she's getting out of this divorce. She wasn't married to him long. This is the thing that people don't realize. It doesn't matter how long she was married to him if there is a prenuptial agreement in place for this very reason. If it was something where it was a short marriage, there was no prenuptial agreement, it's easier for you to say, okay, there is no need, there is no argument or very little argument for the property and assets, especially premarital assets, to be split down the middle. If, however, you give me a prenup that says I get a certain percentage, then I will be fighting to get that certain percentage. It's not rocket science. You signed an agreement. So unless there is some sort of duress or any sort of factors that makes the prenup unreliable or should not be relied on in its entirety, then you can then be arguing that. But I think people just like to project. It's not necessarily about the fact that, oh, she hasn't been married to. If you have an agreement with someone, it doesn't matter how long you were in the agreement for. If that is not a term of the agreement, then that is your agreement. At the end of the day, what it sounds like is everyone had legal representation when they were signing the agreement. It wasn't like no one coerced you, unless that would be an argument that would be brought forward later on. It doesn't sound like there was any coercion in terms of signing the prenuptial agreement. Now, I know that based on one of the videos that I was covering, it seems like they want to argue more in relation to some sort of misrepresentation where Porsha did not give Simon the impression that she would be going back to work, something along those lines. So I guess that's why he's trying to argue for the prenuptial agreement to not be upheld. But the way it's looking like it is going to be a fight. Now, another person said, why would she deserve any money? They wasn't married a year and had no kids. You are missing the point, sir. She doesn't, it's not about money, it's not about whether or not they have no kids, how long they've been married for. Nobody puts a pow to your hand to sign the agreement. You signed the agreement. So it was okay for you at the time, but now you don't want to sign you don't want the agreement to be upheld. So as much as I feel like you may not like Porsha, you may not like how things are panning out, but if you sign an agreement, best believe I'm going to hold you to that agreement and I will fight for that agreement to be upheld. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and tap that bell button right next to it so you know every time I post, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.